Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will show you how to set up and by the end of the video deploy an extremely profitable yet simple Bollinger Band based crypto trading bot on the MUDREX platform. Now, if you're not familiar with MUDREX, they are a platform that allows you to create your own algo-based crypto trading bot strategies, and you can actually get started for free with their basic plan, which would allow you to configure and deploy an unlimited number of their algo crypto trading bot strategies. So I will leave a link down in the description below, and if you use that link, you will actually receive a $25 sign-up bonus that you could apply towards their premium plan. Also, if you do the premium plan, you actually get 1 month free trial to put the platform to the live fire test. And after that first free month, you'd be looking at $16 a month. And if you use the link in the description down below, you get $25 for free. So that's like another month and a half free of the premium plan. And in my opinion, their backtesting engine is probably the best in the crypto industry. And with the premium plan, you get to run unlimited backtests. And to me, that's worth the $16 ask. Now, that's enough jaw-jacking. Let's get to it. So after you sign up and you log in under your user account, you would go to the Build tab over here on the left-hand side, and you would be ready to create a new strategy. And in this case, we'll use the visual editor. The other option is external signals, like signals from TradingView alerts to buy and sell. But in this case, we're going to build our own algo-based trading strategy. So I click on Visual Editor, and that brings me over to the Visual Editor dashboard. And everything over here is pretty much click and drag and drop. And so I can choose what blocks I want to add to my strategy. And in this case, I have choices like an indicator block where you could just have it looking at like your MACD or RSI. And then you have a compare block, which will actually compare two indicators. In this case today, we'll be looking at price and Bollinger Bands. And so I need one of these compare blocks, and I just click on it, drag it, and drop it into place. And this will be my buy block, so I just simply click and drag the arrow and connect it to buy. And clicking on the block again, I get a little pencil, and that will allow me to configure the block itself. And in this case, it's a compare block, and I want to compare price to Bollinger Bands. And I want the close price actually crossing up through the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. And so what that would look like is when you see this little sell-off and the price breaks down through the lower band, well, I don't want to get involved until the price starts moving back up. And so in this situation on this green candle, you see the price move up and close above the lower band after crossing through that lower band. And so the close of this candle would trigger a buy. And so this is a perfect example. And another example would be this sell-off here that goes and crosses down through the lower band. And I don't get in until it crosses back above on the close of the candle. And that is the compare factor of this block, is the close price crosses up through the lower band. And then the parameters, the price will be the price, but I can set some parameters as far as Bollinger Bands. And then the Bollinger Bands, I actually want the 10 period. And then the advanced parameters, I want the standard deviation to be 1. And my moving average type will be the WMA. And so as you can see, I actually changed the defaults from 20 to 10, 2 to 1, and SMA for the moving average type to WMA. And I click OK. And that's it. That's the simplicity of this strategy for the buy trigger. Now I need to set up my sell trigger. And that is going to, again, rely on Bollinger Bands. So I could click and drag and drop another compare box. But in this case, since I'm using pretty much the same settings as my buy box. I can click on this little double window here and it will duplicate the exact same box that I had for buy. Again, I click and drag over and connect to sell. Click on the pencil to actually configure. And in this case, I want the close price crossing up through the upper band. And so in the buy example, we wanted to enter upon crossing above the lower band. And so we get the sell off and then the cross back above the lower band. And we're in the position we would sell when the price closes above the upper band. And in this case, a profit would have been achieved when the price crosses over and closes above this upper band. And that's what I'm looking for. I want to buy when it's going down, and I want to sell when it's going up. And that is how most elite traders make money. They buy when everyone is selling, and they sell when everyone is buying. And so again, close price crosses up through the upper band, and that will trigger a sell order. And then again, under parameters, the Bollinger Bands I have set at 10. That stays the same. However, under the advanced parameters, the standard deviation I want to be 2. And what that will actually do is expand the bands a little. And the reason I select 2 on the sell side, that just happens to perform better. We get more movement out of the price and a better opportunity at a higher take profit level. And so that's why the standard deviation is 2. Moving average type is still WMA. Click OK. Now I have both the buy trigger set and my sell trigger set. Next, I need to configure the take profit box. And I have that configured at 15% take profit. So if the price actually is able to go up 15% before ever exiting the upper band, I want the bot to take profit. And with that all set, before I get into the stop loss, I'm going to run a quick back test and see how this performs. But first, I actually need to name the bot. So we'll call it BB cross cross. All right, so now we saved the strategy with a name. Now we'll click the back test and we'll give it a shot over on Binance, USDT. In this case, I know it performs pretty well on ADA on the 15-minute time frame. Click Start Backtest, and the backtest is finished, and we can see that the monthly average returns is almost 29%. Now, before I jump over to more details on the backtest, I'm actually going to run this on Binance US. So let's give it a shot on Binance US. So I click Start Backtest. Backtest is started. And we improved by almost 10% by going with Binance US. And that is where I will actually be deploying this bot today. Most of my bots on the MUDREX platform have been deployed on Binance US actually. Most of my grid bots have actually been deployed on Binance. So there are opportunities on both exchanges. You just need to do your recon and find out what fits best for the strategy you're looking to deploy. So let's jump over to the details of the Binance US backtest and let's see what we end up with. And so from October 2nd, 2019 to April 2nd, 2021, so we've got a year and a half back test there. The strategy would have produced on average 37, almost 38% monthly returns. And overall returns would have been 7,453% in a year and a half. That is an incredible return. And for those of you who are always asking, why don't you just buy and hold? Well, this would be your answer right here. The market returns, had you just bought and held during that same year and a half time frame, would have been 3,000%. Still, outstanding returns. But you don't actually even achieve half of what you would have had you deployed a bot in profit. So, that is why we trade. Now, in reality, I'm actually more interested in the 3-month return time frame, as that will represent a little more accurately the current market we are experiencing today. Also, I want to adjust the fees to the 0.75%, as that would be the fees you pay when you pay your fees in BNB tokens, and that's what I do. So we'll hit recalculate with the new fees in the 3-month time frame. And as I suspected, the results improved due to the current bull market conditions. And monthly average returns would be almost 100%. So for the 3-month period, you're averaging almost 100% return, or overall returns for the 3-month period, 650%, and we are still outperforming market returns. Now, very important to note, backtest results do not guarantee future results, so you take this with a grain of salt, but you still need to do your recon before you deploy the bot. Performance score is something that MUDREX has incorporated into their backtest scores, and it is in the good zone. It's an 8. Max drawdowns 31%, a little bit higher than I like to be, but still acceptable. I prefer to be between 25 to 30, so it's just outside that 30 level. Total trades of 37 over the 3-month period, so you're looking at just around 12 trades a month. Again, not a lot of action, but as you know, if you've watched my videos, I don't care about action, I care about profit. Sharp ratio is just over 5. Anything over 1 is acceptable. Anything over 2 is considered good. Profit factor, same rules apply. Anything over 1 is acceptable. Anything over 2 is good. And so a profit factor of 3 is obviously going to be acceptable. We already looked at overall returns versus market returns. Trades won, 70%. That's actually pretty high for my strategies. I usually bank on a good risk versus reward ratio, so I don't have to be right quite as often. But in this case, a 70% win rate is a big factor going towards these returns. My largest winning trade was just shy of 16%. Largest losing trade was almost 13%. I normally like a bigger spread on the win side than the loss side, but it is hard to argue with these returns. Now, average profit on win versus average loss on win. These backtest numbers provided by the MUDREX backtest are how I calculate risk versus my reward. And in this case, my risk versus reward is right at a 1 to 2.5 risk versus reward ratio. I typically try to shoot for a 1 to 3 risk versus reward ratio, but in reality, a 1 to 2 risk versus reward is acceptable to me. Now, something else I want to point out, there is a losing streak of 3, and so you do need to ask yourself, can you withstand 3 losses in a row? And it might be the very first 3 trades, but let's scroll down and see how we start out. Now, we start out with several nice wins in a row. And it is important to note that ADA had a heck of a run during January and some of February. And we can see big wins versus very small losses. And we do have the one big loss. That's our biggest loss, is that 13%. But overall, we're seeing a lot more wins than we are actual losses. And that is where this 70% trades won comes in. We're winning more. And even if we had some smaller wins, we are still winning the battle in the long run. So the backtest looks good. Let's get this bot deployed. So in order to deploy the bot, you have a couple options. You could deploy it via paper trades first if you so desire. In this case, I'm going to put it to live fire. And again, it's the Binance exchange, and you have a variety of exchanges you can choose from. I did my back testing and recon on the Binance US exchange. Market is USDT. The asset is ADA. Of course, you have choices of other coins you could trade, but you'll need to do your recon before you do that. And then the tick intervals, frames, and the 15-minute, it performs the best. So now I just need to click the start live trade. I need to give my bot some ammo, and in this case I'll give it 500 USDT. and click next, and the bot is now live trading. And that pretty much wraps it up. I'll be doing update videos in the near future on how this bot is performing, so be sure to shoot that subscribe button. If you liked the video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section down below. I will leave a link to MUDREX in the description down below, and remember, you use that link, you'll get $25 free sign-up bonus. And in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.